Hello there, my name is Dr. Linus and I am a pharmacist. I live in Uganda. If you're visiting this channel for your very first time, I want to ask you to not forget to subscribe because I have a lot of good stuff in stock for you. Today I want to talk about drugs and what you need to know about drugs before you take any of those drugs that are prescribed for you. Generally speaking, drugs are substances with the exception of food and water, which when taken in the body, change the body's functioning both physically and or psychologically. Some of the legal drugs are alcohol, tobacco, and caffeine. Caffeine is generally taken in coffee. Nicotine is what they are looking out for in tobacco. And we see many people consume alcohol. Okay? So, but each of these components, though legal, are affecting the body in one way or the other. But then there are those drugs that are actually illegal. And these, among others, would include cocaine, ecstasy, heroin, cannabis. All those are the illegal. That if you're found in possession of such, cannabis, the marijuanas, you're found in possession of those things, then you're going to be culpable in the courts of law. In pharmacology, pharmacology is a branch of medicine where we basically study the drugs, their effects on the body. In pharmacology, a drug is a chemical substance of known chemical structure which when administered in the body affects the body biologically. A pharmaceutical drug, also called a medication or a medicine, is that substance that is basically used to treat, cure, prevent, diagnose a disease, and or to promote well-being. That is what we call a pharmaceutical drug. And so many times when you walk into a pharmacy, what you're picking out there is likely a pharmaceutical drug. So generally speaking, drugs change the way your body and the way your mind function. So if anything changes the way your body and the way your mind functions, and you're going to consume it, you have to really be very careful because it can affect your body positively or negatively, and also affect your mind both positively and or negatively. And that's why we have people who have been trained to specifically know when this drug will affect your body positively and when it will affect your mind positively. And me, I'm here advocating for you consuming these drugs such that they positively affect your mind and the body. We want to be very distant from the negative effects of these drugs. Because what is factual is that these drugs have a negative impact on everyone, especially when used wrongly or abused. Okay? Some of the negative effects of these drugs that we don't want to have happen in our bodies, among others, will include the following. Have you heard about what we call ototoxicity? Ototoxicity simply means the drug affecting your ears. Ototoxic. So what happens because you consume this drug by self-medication, or maybe it was wrongly prescribed for you, or the dose used was wrong or was too high, we end up seeing you become deaf. My wife is a physics and math teacher in a secondary school for the deaf. And so you'll find her teaching these students by just signing. Some of these very same students are those students who used to hear. They used to have their ears functioning well. But because somehow there was misuse of drugs as one of the possible reasons why they became deaf, they are today deaf. Yet they also have to pursue a career in life, and that's why they are in school. And people like my wife are teaching them by signing physics, by signing mathematics. I don't know how to sign, but my wife has been trained in that area. So ototoxicity is a serious issue that can actually happen when there is misuse of these drugs, or when the drugs are used wrongly. The other thing that could happen is cardiotoxicity. Cardiotoxicity basically refers to the drug affecting your heart. And so you will all know how important the heart is in making sure that blood reaches every part of the body. Okay? So if the heart, which is the pump in your body, is now getting issues, what will happen? Heart issues are one of those issues any of us doesn't want to have. So I want to caution you to be careful as you use these drugs. Always feel free to ask your medical doctor or your pharmacist about any possible unwanted effects of these drugs, which helps you to be careful when you're using these drugs. Do not just rush to buy these drugs over the counter. Another possible unwanted effect of these drugs when used wrongly is hepatotoxicity. With hepatotoxicity, I refer to the damage to your liver. Your liver is one other very important organ, because there are so many chemical reactions that take place in your liver. In science, there is a general term we call metabolism. A lot of metabolic reactions are taking place in your liver. So when your liver starts getting issues, you can imagine what will happen. One of the most toxic drugs to the liver is paracetamol, the common Panadol that we all go and take because we are feeling pain. So we really need to be very, very careful. The other issue we need to mind about is renal toxicity. Renal toxicity, I refer to the damage to the kidneys. One of the most commonly used drugs that badly affects the kidneys are the painkillers, the non-steroidal anti-inflammatories like diclofenac. You find people walking into the pharmacies and buying diclofenac the way they want, and not knowing that they are actually burying themselves, because diclofenac causes serious renal toxicity. The kidneys are very important in cleaning your body of the waste products, very importantly there, but also helping to regulate your blood pressure. Now, such an important organ that is helping to control your blood pressure, but also cleaning your body of the unwanted toxic waste, starts getting issues because of your abuse of drugs. You just trying to self-medicate without consulting. I want to caution you to be very careful with drugs. Drugs are dangerous. You cannot just walk into the pharmacy and buy them. You always need to go through the right procedure of meeting a medical doctor who is trained to diagnose, find out what is the problem. He will know which tests he has to recommend to be done by the laboratory, and then get the results. From the results, be able to take a decision based on what has been seen by the lab people, and then make the right prescriptions that you now go into the pharmacy. Recently, I lost a friend of mine who refused to go on dialysis because he thought dialysis was even going to kill him faster. He died. So I don't think you want to go through that experience. Be careful not to misuse these drugs. Always ask. Some drugs even interact with other drugs. There are some drugs that when taken together are harmful. There are some drugs that when are taken together, one affects how the other one performs, so that the effect of the other one is not felt because this one is suppressing the other. You may not know all those things. And that's why I'm here to advocate for us always making an effort to seek the right food